Native of Marietta, Georgia, considering Kentucky, Carolina, Duke, among others. He's on the reserves for the East squad.
Guys, I just want to give us some credit. We were able to get back here at full speed. Just one heartbeat slows yourself down, and it gives you a chance to actually take a quick assessment of who's coming from which angle, where you can drop the pass off from.
Evan Dotson, who may get the keys to the car at Kansas, getting out to Nassir Little. And Little, we talked about the wings. He was the guy that we didn't mention, but maybe one of the most impressive players here this week. He is about what they're able to do on the offensive end of the floor and how they love to play. They need a guy like that to stretch the floor, and you throw Nassir Little beside him, you got a pretty good combination of players going to Carolina next year.
Yeah, Luke May will be back. Seventh Woods will be back. We'll see how they play together in the backcourt, but obviously one of the top recruiting classes in the nation. Also lose Joel Berry, Theo Pinson, but when you have guys like Kobe White and Nassir Little to come right in right away, it fits the kind of personnel that Roy Williams loves to have on the court.
And North Carolina getting back into that level of where they're going out, getting elite level recruiting classes. Since the Theo Pinson, Joel Berry class, they really haven't had that elite level recruiting class. But now you see, to replace those guys, you got some special talent coming in. And then Rashawn Leaky Black, you know, they have him listed as a small forward, but he's a guy that may be a point guard in that system. And we talked about Little, and he continues to impress as he has all week. His ability to put the basketball on the floor, take the bump, the contact. And he's got a grown man body already. He's already prepared for college basketball physically.
Who's going to Maryland, number 15 player in the country. Lob at the other end. Whoa! Nassir Little off the trampoline for the dunk.
For the Tar Heels.
Oh, and you know how much they love to play in transition. And you get guys pushing the basketball like Seventh Woods can, like Kobe White can.
Well, it's like a Theo Pinson. It's like a taller, more athletic Theo Pinson. I would say he's going to play with the same poise that Theo Pinson obviously played with this year. I think we saw
about North Carolina's elite level recruiting class where you can't throw it too high for Nassir Little as he raises up and then showing off just a bit of his ball handling for the beautiful finish. To defend and play hard this week. So you said in the second half, Keldon Johnson getting off with a great individual play, and then Nassir Little with the nice defensive play. Haven't seen many fouls called in this game, but definitely don't want to call them when we actually got guys going out there playing defense.
Indiana history, 3,002 points. Not far behind number 1, Damon Bailey, who had 3,134. Reed puts it up for Montgomery. Little tries the three, got it. Little with the lob, right hand finish for Keldon Johnson, number 6 player in the class, signed to Kentucky.
Eastern Conference Finals. Was that against Miami or was that against Cleveland? No, it was against LeBron, but it was one of those two not long ago. Mike Budenholzer, my man Bud, who of course is the head coach here in this building. Bud was actually the video coordinator. We came into San Antonio together. We were both rookies. The person that should ever mention having played basketball here yesterday would be you, buddy.
Well, I knew it was a bad sign that I was going to be playing in that game when I told you and Paul Biancardi that I brought my basketball shoes here to Atlanta.
He gives you the effort, hard screens,
motor,
sprints the
Jay
court.
with him was effort.
Yeah, Jay had street shoes, dress pants, and still by a mile was the best player on the floor.
But props to talking. That's why me and you are always over here battling for words. But give some props to my girl Debbie. Both Trey and Ty is his mom, Debbie.
You see a great pick and roll, and so many times players don't understand. If you set a legitimate screen, if you roll, if you have a point guard like Javon Quinley, he will find you. You will be seeing a lot of that next year for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
But one thing you will see is actually help side defense waiting on
Yes, you will see that as well. I'm trying to stay positive here for a competition.
Absolutely, Jay. And that's one of the things, of course, in the social media generation, these players know each other so well. And then you also consider the fact that many of them play USA basketball. Coach Don Showalter playing the U16s, U17s growing up. They have relationships, and they play against each other on the EYBL circuit, Adidas circuit. Under Armour circuit. So when you have all that going on, now you have relationships with each other.
I'm sorry for clapping, Corey. But see, this is what I want to see.
This is what we're supposed to do.
This is what I want to see.
Hype in here.
This was North Carolina basketball at the beginning of the year, too, where they were locking down in the defensive stance. They got a little bit away from that later in the year, but that's what Nassir Little can bring to the table.
Well, and think about it. Nassir Little going to North Carolina. Zion Williamson going to Duke. They're going to have to go at this next year, so Nassir Little just getting it started.
This is what I want to see. This is what real basketball is.
Little goes 2 for 2 defensively. Jones leads.
Nassir Little accepting the challenge, reaching in, and Zion.
Oh, he just, yeah, it looks like he just, I don't know if he dislocated his finger. I have been following them for a while, so for me, just getting a chance to see how strong and how quick guys were up in the flesh was something that was different. But it was also good for me because it gave me more motivation after the game was over.
We knew Trae Young would be good. We didn't know he'd be the face of college basketball for most of the season. Nassir Little, 26 points right now, the game's leading scorer. And it just goes to show you how guys can really take off from the end of their high school career going into college. Just Little's going to be going to North Carolina next year and can emerge so much. And Little is a guy who from this time last year to now has been one of the most improved players in skill development in the class of 2018.
We saw that a year ago with Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton coming into his senior year of high school, people really didn't know a lot about him until that summertime. And you see Nassir Little continuing to develop. And Jay, he's been one of the guys that all the high school scouts, the NBA scouts, they've been very impressed with him all week long with his size, ability to shoot the basketball, put it on the floor, and make plays. And Nassir Little has had a great showing here at the McDonald's All-American game.
Have not seasoned. Now we got a great MVP race here. Nassir Little, 11 to 16 from the field, 26 points, 5 rebounds. Also, you have R.J. Barrett, who's involved this 9 of 11 from the field, 24 points as well.
Reddish leads it. Little finishes. He's got 28 closing in, 3 shy of the record. Does it 131-128 your final as the West team is victorious here in Atlanta.
Well, that's the kind of reaction you want to see from somebody who won this game in Nassir Little. He's been very, very impressive this entire ball game.
I think impressive enough to be the MVP of this game, but you know, again, of course, I might be a little bit biased, but give my boy Keldon Johnson a lot of credit for what he was able to do at the end of this game, especially taking on the challenge of guarding R.J. Barrett.
Of 17 from the floor and 28, 3 shy of the game's record.
Yeah, Nassir Little, 6'7", 215 pounds from Christian Prep, Orlando, Florida. You think about North Carolina losing Joe Barry, losing Theo Pinson, there will be open gap for a guy like him to come in right away and be an absolute star for Roy Williams and the Tar Heels next year. And that's a big-time move. That is a pro move. A guy 6'7", fluid on the perimeter, who can hit you off with a step back in traffic. Jeff?
Nassir, 28 points, but more importantly, you get the win. Came right down to the wire. What was it like in the closing minutes? R.J. Barrett had a couple of chances.
Me and my team, we put emphasis on winning, not necessarily an individual game. We all have the same goal, trying to win the game. So come down, we really keyed in on defense and got key stops.
What do you think you showed for those Carolina Tar Heel fans that were watching you tonight?
I showed everything. I showed energy. I showed excitement. And, that's what I come to do, entertain the fans, give them a good show, and I had fun tonight.
Thanks a lot, Nassir. Mike.
All right, Jeff, an impressive performance for the number 10 player in the class, part of the number 7 recruiting class, headed to North Carolina next year. So did you get the defense you wanted to see, Jay?
I did, finally. I actually had the kids be somewhat competitive. But that's what you want to see when you come to this game. And I know everybody at home feels exactly the same way. It's good to see everybody score dunks, but you want to see how this translates to next year. You want to start, Corey, understanding who are these kids psychologically. Because just because you make it here doesn't mean you're going to make it to the next level. And a guy like Cam Reddish, right? One of the things you have to see him work on is his ability to be aggressive. And I think we understand that now, but you get a chance to see it in person.
Absolutely, and we talked about his talent level.
Season's not done yet, however. From this game, we're waiting on Romeo Langford, E.J.